an occurrence that's going to keep taking place. But I called it the cast, right? So pretty much the topic was it was a debate between me and my woman, and because I had made statements like, if somebody has a shitty job, somebody works minimum wage, you should not protest and demand that your shitty job pay you more, especially if you don't have any skills, if you don't have any education that is required to be at this job, and especially if you have nothing going on in your life that is going to contribute to you being a more valuable person. Now she said, well, if they feel like they're not getting paid enough, then you should protest it. Now, before I go in, I want to say I didn't mean to offend anybody. I don't mean to say that you have no value. What's up, Travis? I'm not saying that you just you're just a loser. Well, okay, look, what I am saying is if you work at McDonald's and McDonald's pays minimum wage, you know that McDonald's pays minimum wage, bro. You know McDonald's is not a good job. You know you don't have to have any skills. You know you don't have to think too hard. You don't have to have a trade. You don't have to graduate high school to go to work at McDonald's. You don't have to do any of that. With that, you could be replaced by somebody that is 16 years old, somebody that doesn't have a family, somebody that doesn't have children. They don't have to keep leaving McDonald's so they can go pick their badass kids up or get it suspended, or they're not gonna have any emergencies with their kids. They're not gonna be stuck in their ways. They're not gonna be complaining. Somebody that's 16 years old will even work longer hours for less money than you. The whole reason why these jobs pay shit is because you don't have to have any skills and because you're easily replaceable. Why would you feel the audacity to tell somebody who worked for all these years, fixed their credit, got their education, got these skills, never? They did everything that you didn't want to do to give you a job, and you have the same power as them. You have the same potential as them. You have the same 24 hours in a day as them. But you want to be paid more because of your feelings and because of how you fucked your motherfucking life up. Because you wanted to smoke weed all through high school and go in and out of juvie, and now you don't know how to function in a normal society. You 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 feel the need to, instead of applying yourself and getting educated and learning a skill, learning a trade, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to college to be a nigga. You don't have to learn a trade. You don't have to learn a skill. You should. You should, because when you do those three things, you can build your own business, and you don't need to have money to do it. If you become a plumber, nigga, in 5 years, you can build a plumbing business, and you don't have to worry about begging a motherfucker to acknowledge your value. Cause I have to do that, bro. I have to do that. The last time I did that, I had a racist ass, weird ass manager when I worked at Burger King in a in a suburb of Oklahoma City. She didn't like me. She let it be known. I didn't fuck with her motherfucking ass. I let it be known. But she cut my hours. She was trying to get me to quit. She was trying to get me to quit. When I first started working there, I was getting like 8, 7 hours. But eventually, she cut my hours down to like 21. But then they would call me and tell me not to come in sometimes. Or they would tell me to go home like an hour early sometimes. So when I have scheduled 21 hours, sometimes I will have like 17 hours a week. And one day, I ran into some financial problems. I had a child, and I had his mother with me living in the house, and I was the only one who had a fucking job. So I had to swallow my pride and ask this racist bitch to give me at least $5. She had this look on her face. It was like it was a fake empathy. It was a fake sympathy, and I felt this sickness in the middle of my chest, knowing that this bitch is fucking ignorant as fuck. She thinks I'm stupid. She thinks I'm unintelligent. She thinks I'm weird, and she wants to work here and she doesn't like me. I had to ask her motherfucker ass. I had to swallow my pride for my child and ask her for more hours. I know how that feels, bro. Thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that, Brenzy. I know how that feels. And I like it, and I've never done that again. My other job just shut the fuck on my money. I had two jobs. I quit that job because I was making $15 an hour. They were gonna pay me an extra dollar. Tell me to go home 30 minutes early, and the new job I was supposed to do was gonna be twice, if not three times more stressful. And I quit that job the same day. The same day. The job I have right now, it's not the best job in the world, but it's a form of a trade. If I work it long enough, there's certifications that's involved. There's accolades that's involved. There's paperwork that's involved. There's documents that make me marketable that's involved, my nigga. What happened? I mean, I just told you pretty much. I was washing dishes at a restaurant, and they wanted to move me up to be a cook. Said I'll offer you one more dollar, and I told her, you can keep the dollar. Let me stay in my position. She said, well, we already hired somebody for that position, and I don't know how reliable that person is. You here for 2 months, and we know that you actually, are gonna stick with us. And I was thinking in the back of my head, no, bitch, you don't know that because I'm about to quit today. But if you do the math, if I'm working for $15, I was actually making 14.50. So use my pay to 16.50. I mean 15.50, right? And I have to go home a half an hour early. That's me losing $7 when I was only making an extra $6 a day. I only work 5, 6 hour shifts. So I'm actually losing money and getting a harder position. There will be some instances where I will be making an extra dollar a day than I made previously, but at the end of the day, I'm working harder for only $1 a day, my nigga, a day. So I just left. I left. I worked the rest of that shift and I walked out and I never went back. That's what you do when somebody treats you unfair and you level up and you get more education and you get more power and you get more control and you get more power of choice. You need to have some pride about yourself. You feel good about protesting and going on strike because a shitty job that you already knew was gonna be a shitty job didn't want you to tell them how to run their goddamn business when they could just hire somebody who's gonna not claim. You know why people work those shit? You know why it's good to have a shitty job, bro? Because it helps you fucking think about how powerful and intelligent and brilliant you are. It teaches you work ethic. It helps you appreciate better jobs. It drives you to study when you don't feel like it. You don't want to work at McDonald's, bro. You don't. You don't force people who don't want you to be there in the first place to pay you better to be there. Them jobs, those shitty jobs, are for people who don't have shit going on in their lives, who don't have families, who don't have educations. Those are for teenagers, man. McDonald's, working at McDonald's, it's for teenagers. That's who it's for. It's not for you to be trying to raise 3 kids. And then you know what? I should be making $15 instead of 7. No, you shouldn't. You should be fucking paying 15 for some books. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you want to be better? Why don't you want a skill? Okay, you need it right now. I get that. You think I'm good. You need it right now. But you could put all that energy into being a more valuable person. You could put all the energy in your education. You knew how horrible this job was when you took it. You knew you were easily replaceable and they weren't going to consider your feelings because it's not about your feelings. It's not about you fucking up all through high school and getting your girlfriend pregnant when you're 14 and now you gotta work in there. That's not what it's about. You're not supposed to be making $15, bro. You're not supposed to be making $15 unless you are 15 years old. To be real with you, and that's how much I make, and I'm not 15 years. I'm way older than 15 years old. And I stand on this shit. But at the end of the day, bro, a lot of these motherfuckers put themselves in that situation because they don't have a plan, bro. You people get angry and depressed because they feel like they don't have control because they don't have enough knowledge to control a very easily controllable situation. You think that nigga would talk to you like that? You think these people would interact with you like that if you had the same amount of power of choice in life? They wouldn't have any choice but to respect you. It doesn't matter. A lot of things don't matter, and you don't matter to these people because you could easily, if you have a job where you could be easily replaced by a robot or a teenager. You don't need education. You don't need any skills. You don't need any kind of training for more than 3 days. You don't have any benefits, nigga. And there's zero way for you to move up or little for you to move up. Then you can't complain how little you pay, man, because you're not supposed to be there for that long for you to feel like that at all. People get mad because they don't have any way to formulate a plan for the situation or to control the situation for themselves. It's us mispeople. That's why motherfuckers get mad at the stupid decisions they make because they can't fix them. All these people, like the nigga who just shot that dude and you know why people get mad at stupid shit like that? Because they don't have a plan. If you next time you go to a fast food restaurant or it might even be a sit down restaurant, it might be something like kind of shitty like Longhorn Steakhouse. Next time you go to any job, any place, any establishment where you don't need any skills, it's a dead end job. Um, they could be easily replaced by a motivated, driven teenager that hasn't been eat up and chewed out. I mean, chewed up and spit out by life. McDonald's. If you go to McDonald's, if you go to anywhere where there's just fucking workers, where they make possibly minimum wage, anybody that you see in there mad, it's because they don't have a plan. It's because they don't have a plan to escape this prison of having a dead end job. It's because they're probably not interested in, or they're not going to college. They're not trying to go to college. They don't have any skills, and if they have a bad day at home, they're gonna have an even worse day at work because they don't have any way to escape this shit. It's like a drug. Having a job like that, it's like a drug. It's temporary relief. It's temporarily relieving pain, and you don't think you need to go to rehab. But you think the drug dealer is supposed to charge you less money for your fucking drugs so you can get higher. That's how crazy you sound. That's how crazy you sound. And somebody that I don't care to know at all commented on my video last night, calling me a coon. With coon, my understanding of a coon is a sellout. That's what I think a coon is. That's what I did my research on. A coon is a sellout. What's up, Mai? What up? I miss. I don't know. What's up, everybody? How the fuck am I a sellout if I'm telling people to stop complaining about having shitty jobs and go to school? How am I a sellout for encouraging people to get educated? A sellout would not say anything like that. A sellout would encourage people to have shitty jobs and to stay in that same position and don't get educated. A sellout would make music about people doing drugs. A sellout would sell their own community fucking drugs and hurt them. A sellout would encourage their friends to get abortions. That's what sellouts do. Me telling my people, my family, and when I say that, I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about impoverished people. Me telling my family, nigga, you're not even supposed to be working there in the first place. Why don't you go to school? Why don't you get a job that has tuition reimbursement? Why don't you get a job that gives you certificates over time? Why don't you go to the workforce center and see if they have some kind of free training where all you have to do is have a GED? Why don't you try to get a motherfucker? Why don't you buy some books, figure out a little bit of business, and and learn how to write a business plan and learn how to get a business? Why don't you let the resources in your town and every city has it, where they show you how to write business plans and they consult you and they help you get grants in every fucking city. I didn't call you a loser. I said you're putting yourself in a position where you have very little leverage and you have very little to complain about because you fucked your life up and these people see you replaceable and they see you as a loser. I don't see you as a loser. I see you as a normal human being that's without knowledge, trying to make a way out of nowhere. But what the fuck? These people don't care about you. The only reason they're gonna give you more money is to save face. They don't care about your life, or they wouldn't have paid you that little in the first motherfucking place, man. And you putting your hand out and you terrorizing these people when they're just trying money just like you is being hypocritical, and it's encouraging and enabling people to not be shit. Don't you want your child to see you go to college? Don't you be able to say you need to go to school and them say, nigga, you didn't go to school, you can't tell me that. I'm gonna work at McDonald's just like you. Or no, I'm not gonna work at McDonald's, I'm gonna work at a tire shop. I'm gonna work at a tire shop, at least they make $2 more than you. They're not even the manager. And you've been there since I was 3 years old. Don't you want your children to be able to speak good about your career and how they motivate you to get more? People say, oh, Aaron Moses, that comes from a very privileged. Bro, I was born in Chicago. I didn't move to anywhere I didn't move out here till I was 10 years old, bro. My whole family was in poverty at some point. My mom, my dad, everybody that I knew. I didn't even know the hood was the hood until I went to the suburbs. I didn't even know the hood where I stayed was the hood until I was like 13. Because that was there so much. That's how average it was to me, right? But at the end of the day, of course, a lot of people have that impoverished mentality, bro. If you don't grow up seeing this family member and that family member going to college and you over their house and they got fat ass textbooks like this, and you then a couple years later you see graduation pictures of them. A couple years later you see them moving to a decent area. A couple of years later you see them buying their own home. Yes, I was privileged to see motherfuckers trying to educate themselves and not trying to beg a, a, a white man who put them in this motherfucking situation so they could pay the minimum wage for more money when his great granddad just did this shit to us for you to be making fucking $8 an hour in 2022. Nigga, no, I'm not about to beg you for some more money. No, I'm not gonna do that, sir, because I fucking love myself. I have pride about myself, nigga. What the fuck? Protesting and motherfucking, what's that other shit going on strike? That's begging, nigga. What's the difference between you and the panhandler? I could see if you're a teacher, you fucking got educated and you went to school for all these years to teach these badass kids and you've mastered child psychology. I could see if you really did something for the community, nigga, you make burgers. Then people, niggas not even supposed to be eating that shit. And you want to fucking protest. Nigga, you need to read. You need to protest Netflix. and get some books and get some education. But people don't know how to do that. And school's not free. Nothing in life is working at McDonald's is not free either. Protesting isn't free either. That costs pride. It costs manhood. That's what the fuck that costs. That costs respect. That's what that costs. That's not free either, nigga. And there are institutions out there that are free, stupid ass. There's a lot. There's a lot of free education. You don't have to get loans. You don't have to get grants. All you got to do is sign your motherfucking name. That's all you got to do. Sign your name, show up, take the little test. If you fail, show up, try again. But it's free. People don't have time. Well, yeah, you do. You have time to get educated if you fucking watch TV then. You do have time. You watch Netflix and you did all that stupid ass shit today, but you don't have time to go to fucking college. Yes, the fuck you do. You got time to motherfucking protest, but you don't have time to motherfucking read a book. Nigga, don't make excuses. I'm privileged. I was privileged to see both of my fucking 20 and 21-year-old parents go to college when they were working two jobs. Yeah, I was privileged to see that. That was a real privilege to have confidence in myself as an intellectual being. Because a lot of y'all niggas haven't seen your parents grow up and do shit. So yes, you might just need a change of environment. Maybe you wouldn't think like that if you saw your parents work hard for themselves or work hard going to school. That was a motherfucking privilege. Because I might not have the confidence that I can actually be something. I might not actually think that, oh shit, I saved up this little money, well let me go to Jamaica and come back and I'm getting shot at when I get off the plane trying to go unlock my front door. Maybe I understand that there's more levels and being mediocre is not a level. You could be excellent and work at McDonald's. You could be excellent and work at Foot Locker. You could be excellent at any stage in your life as long as you are growing and you have a plan to get out of that bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You should not be making a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time. If you plan on being impoverished for the next 10 years, I could see why the fuck you want to protest. If you plan on being impoverished for the rest of your life and you never want to try, in the land of opportunity, if you live in America, you don't have any fucking excuse, bro. If you live in America, you don't have any excuse. Your kids might have to take an L for a couple years, but when they start eating regularly, and they buy clothes, and you buy them clothes, and when they turn 16 and they have a car, and when they walk outside and they don't have to see crackheads anymore, and it doesn't smell like piss on the fucking bus, when they realize that change, like, oh damn, I did miss my mom for like 3, 4 years. My dad was for a couple years, but I'm healthier. I have braces. My teeth are white. My hair gets done. My clothes, they fit. These people aren't making fun of me anymore. I'm not depressed. I'm sure they'll fucking understand, bro. There's not guns. Why is it so quiet out here? There's no gunshots. What's the sound? What's that sound? Nigga, don't you want that? We don't have to eat McDonald's that my mom stole every day. We don't got motherfucking frozen peas. And I'm not fucking, it doesn't stink like shit when I piss. It smells like vegetables and shit. I'm healthy because my mom made these sacrifices. Because she wasn't in line, in a picket line, nigga, begging Burger King that doesn't even want her motherfucking beautiful ass to work there for an extra 75 cents so we could stay in this ghetto situation. You see what I mean? It's about you. It's about you. It's about you. I want you to care about yourself. I don't want you to take time out your day to do some ignorant shit. I want you to be educated. I want you to make the changes in your life so you can make a difference. So you don't have to protest for the difference. So all you gotta do is sign your name, nigga, or make a phone call and things are different. You can't do that if you work at McDonald's. You can't do that if you're in line protesting to make 16.50 instead of 15.50. You cannot do that. You're wasting your time. That's all I gotta say, man. It's Aaron Moses on the bang, we bang together, man. Life is in the breath, breathe it in. Peace. Excellent at any stage in your life, as long as you are growing and you have a plan to get out of that bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.